Hello and welcome my friends. On today's video, I'm going to be making a guide on Mortal Kombat X Raiden Displacer's variation. Now, this variation differs from Thunder God in many ways. I'll be explaining how in a little bit. Now, and I'm probably not going to make a separate video for Thunder God or Master of Film, because I feel like Displacer is the most extensive variation of Raiden, and I'll be condensing most of his moves from all his variations into this video. So yeah, let's get started. The first thing I want to go over is Raiden's special moves. Now this is the same across all his variations, except this variation, Displacer, has one special one. Now for the inputs, when I say I'll see like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 is going to be a square on PS4, 2 is going to be triangle, 3 is going to be X, 4 is going to be circle. So starting with his first special move is Electric Fly, which is back forward 3 or back forward X. Now this move, it hits full screen. I'll demonstrate. So Sub-Zero's at the other end of the screen and I can hit him from there. And this move is mainly for ending your combos with and carrying your opponent to the corner. Like, this is your, for pretty much most of your combos outside the corner, you're going to be using Electric Fly. Now your next special move is Lightning, which is your projectile. It hits high, it does 7% damage. And the reason why it works so well with this variation, I'll get into that in a little bit. And the next move is Vicinity Blast, which is down back 2. Now this move only really serves as a cool looking anti-air for Raiden. It doesn't have too many purposes in combos, but there's like 1 or 2 combos where it works. Like, I'll demonstrate this one. My apologies. Like so. Like, it'll shock the opponent above you and it'll suspend them in the air for a little bit. Now your next special move is Electrocute, which is down forward 2, and this is pretty much your, I'd say, your most important move as Raiden in this game. Now, firstly, this move, Raiden will shock the opponent and it'll do 9% damage and it'll send them flying across the screen, like so. Also another really good move for corner carry. And your last move is down back 3, which is Rising Thunder. Again, this move is really just another like combo starter or like extender, like Electrocute. And especially when you're doing combos, you're gonna want to meter burn Electrocute and like moves like Rising Thunder, because they'll help you extend combos. And by meter burn, you don't know what that means, it's basically amplifying your special move by pressing the block button at the same time that you do the inputs. And like for Electrocute and Rising Thunder, this will suspend the opponent in the air to extend the combo life. This is normal Electrocute, and then this is meter burns.
The wise know when to yield.
As you see, Raiden, when he does normal Electrocute, he just kind of holds his hands close to him, but when you do meter burn, he lunges forward a little bit, giving you extra range. And same with Rising Thunder. As you see with the meter burn, he hits them twice and it bounces them back in the air for another combo. Now here is where Displacer gets interesting. Your special, I guess, move with this variation is your teleport. And this teleports you behind the opponent. And this move, it can be meter burned, and this meter burn version helps you extend a combo. Like, I'll get into that in a little bit. So now I want to go over Raiden's best, I guess, combo strengths. Now the first one I'm going to talk about is Sudden Energy, which is 112. Sorry. Like that. Now this move, it serves as a quick punish. Like, let's say your opponent does something like quick and you're not sure if you can punish it or not. This move is good to kind of stagger them back a little bit, and it pushes them back quite a bit with a final attack. And now, the next combo is Power Discharge, which is back 1-1 and then 1+3. So it's a double hit, and then it ends in a command grab. Sorry. Now this move is useful for ending combos overall, like in the corner especially, where you don't really want to use like a special move. And it looks really cool while doing it too. Next move is Forked Lightning, which is back 1-4. This move is really good in the middle of combos because if you notice, Sub-Zero doesn't get knocked down, he like restands, which is useful when using your teleport, which I'll get into. Next chain is God's Rage, which is forward 1-2, back 2. This is like sudden energy, where it's kind of your bread and butter pressure with Raiden, like especially up close. And with God's Rage, like let's say your opponent blocks it, you can teleport behind and continue a pressure. That's what it's really useful for. Next chain, Distant Thunder, which is 2-1-4. And this move is kind of your best friend against Raiden because it ends in a low attack. Therefore, if your opponent blocks the 2 high attacks, or the high and then the mid, they can still get caught by the low, and then you can get a full combo off of it. And your next one is White Lightning, which is 2-1-3. It starts the same way as Distant Thunder, but instead of going for the low, it launches the opponent up with a kick. This is useful in the corner, like if you want to jump attack, back down, and extend to a combo. Like, that's the gist of it, basically. And then these last 5 chains that I'm going to go over are also important to your game plan as Raiden. And the first one I'm going to talk about is Supernatural, which is 3-4. And this combo, it hits with a mid first, or I'm sorry, a high, and then an overhead, therefore leading to a mix-up. And it's good, it kind of bounces the opponent as you see, and if you look at the bottom of the screen, Almighty is forward 2-4. And if you notice with this combo, Raiden lunges forward a little bit. So if you do Supernatural into Almighty, you can get a full combo. Like so. Your next 2, Might of Morgulus and Quick Burn, they both have the same starter, it's back 3, but Might of Morgulus has a 3 after that, and then Quick Burn 4. It's Might of Morgulus, Quick Burn. Both of these serve as kind of your mix-ups as Raiden when you're up close. You want to keep your opponent on your toes. Keep guessing, no? Especially with Displacer, where you're going to be teleporting a lot. Up close, you know, mix it up a little, go for lows, grabs. Your next chain is Spinning Spark, which is 4-4. Now this move, especially after one of your bread and butter combos, it's going to be kind of maximizing damage output. And it is just a good up close move as well, especially if you do Electrocute after, which makes it safe. And one kind of wild card move I want to mention with Raiden is back 2, which is Hammer Fists. Now this move, it's like Supernatural in where the opponent kind of bounces off the ground, and this is extremely, this is kind of like your overhead starter, so it's also part of your mix-up with your lows and your overhead grabs, and this is how you're going to start most of your combos in the corner, which I'll get into in a little bit. But if you're mid-screen, do Hammer Fist into Electrify. It's great corner carry, and it's a good mix-up. Or if you want to, you could, after Hammer Fist, you could run and then do something like Forked Lightning to Electrify. Like that. Now, as I was talking about earlier about Raiden's Spark Port, that makes it so special in this variation. This Spark Port, let's say you do Distant Thunder, Spark Port. So the Spark Port basically allows you to kind of switch sides if you want. and continue the combo with meter burn-in. And the timing can be a little bit difficult at first, but what I like to do is if you go to practice options, put your super meter to infinite so you can keep practicing the timings with your spark port. You just keep doing that, and eventually you'll be able to get the spark port confirmed really consistently. Now, sometimes it'll happen where like it won't combo, and that's just a matter of frame timing. It does take a lot of practice, but once you get used to it, it'll help a lot with your mid-screen pressure. Now next up, I'm going to talk about some bread and butter combos with Raiden. First off, we're going to start with mid-screen meterless combos. The first one I have is probably the easiest one. It's Distant Thunder into Electrocute. This it's useful because Distant Thunder ends in a low, and then it'll launch your opponent with Electrocute. Now your next combo you're going to want to do is going to require 1 bar of meter, and it's Distant Thunder into Shocker, which is your amplify or meter burned Electrocute, into Spinning Spark into Electrify. Now as you see, that combo does 36% damage, which is really good for 1 bar of meter. That's kind of going to be your bread and butter, especially when it's mid-screen. Now your next combo is going to require you to use the Spark Port and Shocker. That's 2 bars of meter. What you're going to want to do is Distant Thunder into Spark Port, into Distant Thunder again, and then into Shocker, and then into Port Lightning to Electrify. Like so. That combo does 40% damage and it carries your opponent to the corner, which is perfect for your setups. Now your next combo, right here, is going to catch your corner with a jump up punch. And this is going to be jump up punch into Step into this, and then Supernatural, Shocker, Orc Lightning, and Electrify.
The wise know when to use.
Like so. Now this next combo is going to be Supernatural, Almighty, into Thunder Strike, Power Discharge. So, final bread and butter combo is Supernatural into Almighty, Shocker, Support Lightning, and Now it's time for some basic corner combos. Now when you're in the corner with Raiden, always confirm 2 hammer fists. There are some instances where you can get a third, but the timing is really slow. So I would just stick with 2. Now this first combo is going to be 2 hammer fists into 4 lightning, and then into your regular, just your lightning bolts. This is a really good meterless damage, and it allows for 2 restands, which allows more mix-ups. This next combo is going to be 2 hammer fists into Distant Thunder, into Shocker, into Power Discharge.
The wise know when to use.
Now this combo does 43% for 1 bar here, which is really good, and it's kind of going to be your bread and butter as well in the corner. Now this next corner combo is going to be 2 hammer fists, into Distant Thunder, into Shocker, and then into Spinning Spark, and into Electric. Now this is 46% damage for 1 bar, which is again really good, and it keeps your opponent in the corner. Now this next combo is going to cost you 2 bars, some hammer fists, Orc Lightning, Spark Port, Distant Thunder, Shocker, and then Power Discharge.
The wise know when to use.
And this does 47%, which is pretty good, 2 bars. Now this final corner combo is going to be Hammer Fists, support lightning to your Bolt, which is your amplified lightning. It looks like that. Into Vicinity Blast, into Shocker, and then into Power Discharge. This combo does 49% damage to 2 bars, so it does a little more than the other one, but I will say the timing is a little harder to get the fourth line into the bolts, which for it to connect to the full combo, but nonetheless, it is very good. And I also want to mention with Raiden that when you're in the corner, that's kind of going to be the weak part of where your damage comes from, because you have your overhead hammer fists, which leads to full combos. You do low starters, which leads to full combos. And you can, I would say, vortexes for Raiden. You want to do is you want to like do hammer fists, and restand the opponent with fourth lightning, and then teleport, like, you know, go for a low, go for another overhead. You know, even like go for a grab.
Spear punches, thunder rolls.
Or you can also go for a jump punch. You know, always keep them on their toes. Don't let them. Don't be predictable in the corner, especially if you have the spark sword, which gives you so much versatility. And then next, I want to talk about Raiden's best armored attacks and wake ups. So, let's say you get knocked down, your opponent's like keeping you vortex, keeping mixing you up. You want to get out of there, right? Your best bet is to do an armored attack or a wake up, and your best 3 for Raiden are Thunderfly, which is your meter burned electric fly. This adds armor to your electric fly and does a little bit more damage. It's really ideal for, you know, getting yourself out of the corner if you're getting pushed into there. Next is Thunderstrike, which I went over. This move is really good. Again, like knockdown, but if you're mid-screen, because if it doesn't manage to land, you get a full combo. And the last armored attack is Vicinity Burst, which is meter burn Vicinity Blast. Now, unlike Vicinity Blast, Vicinity Burst, it's all around Raiden. It doesn't hit the top, so it's ideal for like a quick get up. And now the final thing I'm going to go over with Raiden is your X-Ray combo. And the simplest one is just going to be Supernatural with 3-4 into your X-Ray. Keep in mind you need all 3 bars of your X-Ray. Personally, I usually never really use my X-Ray because I always use my meter to, like, you know, breakers, combos. I just really feel like your X-Ray isn't really worth it a lot of the time. But to each their own. One last thing I want to mention about Raiden's electric fly is that what's special about Displacer is that you can actually amplify it in the middle of the fly, which adds up kind of like a cool little punch animation by Raiden and does extra damage. Like so. And it has a really cool brutality. But yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. This is my guide on Raiden's Displacer variation and just kind of overall tips and tricks. And I hope you enjoyed this video, and be sure to like and subscribe. And comment below if you'd like to see some more of these guys with other characters as well. And I'll leave a link in the description for my combo guide with Thunder God Raiden. It'll also help you like follow the guides and the tips that I gave you, like overall Raiden, along with those combos, and play Thunder God or something. But yeah, hope you guys have a good day, and peace.